endocrinologist at SIMS Hospital. And in the era of COVID-19, this is unusual times which requires some desperate measures to manage our patients in this scenario. And today we'll be discussing about the management of diabetes in this COVID-19 era. So by default, every participant has been muted and the video is turned off because to reduce the burden on the net. And again, if you have any questions, you can type it in the chat box, and I'll try to give answers as many questions as possible at the end of my presentation. So let us see about diabetes mellitus and COVID-19. They are the two pandemics actually we are facing right now with different characteristics. One is being the chronic one, diabetes mellitus, and the acute, which is the coronavirus disease of 2019. One being the non-communicable and other being the communicable. And the interaction with each other is very much prominent, being that both diabetes and COVID-19 affects each other. So the agenda of the today's presentation will be the how diabetes affects COVID-19 and how COVID-19 affects diabetes. After that, we'll be discussing about the preventive measures for COVID-19 in diabetic patients, followed by management of diabetes in COVID-19 positive patients and management of diabetes in non-COVID patients during this time of COVID-19. So first of all, how the diabetes is going to affect COVID-19 patients. Like if we see being a diabetic is an immunocompromised state because of the endothelial dysfunction and the chronic inflammatory states. Patients of diabetes are basically immunocompromised and they are being at high risk of infection. And if we see all the past epidemics or the pandemics, including the swine flu or the bird flu, even SARS, everyone has shown that the diabetic patients are at highest risk of getting this infection and highest risk of worse outcome. But for COVID-19, still there is no data that suggests that diabetic patients are at increased risk of COVID-19. But again, the data from Italy has shown that about 1/3 of patients of COVID-19 have diabetes mellitus. So if we translate this data into our practice, that being a diabetic make you more prone to develop COVID-19 infection, still the data are not there. Again, even if the risk of COVID-19 is not that much high to this time according to the data, but diabetes mellitus is definitely a risk factor for serious COVID-19 infection. So all the patients who have developed COVID-19, if they have concomitant diabetes, they have very high risk of getting hospitalization, having serious illness, requirement of ventilatory support, and even death. And this is supported by all the data coming from even China or Italy, or even Indian data has also suggested that mortality of COVID-19 has been highest in patients who are having diabetes. However, just not because the diabetes patient, just being a diabetes make you prone to develop serious infection, but associated with if you are having elderly people, poor blood sugar control, and having diabetes complications like CKD or the coronary artery disease make you more prone to develop serious COVID-19 infection. So these are the patients who require the maximum support and the maximum preventive measures to so that they don't encounter this COVID-19 infection. Vice versa, how this COVID-19 affects the diabetes mellitus, that again with every infection, COVID-19 is also very stressful condition, and which results in the secretion of the anti hypoglycemic hormones like epinephrine and glucocorticoid release are there, and that leads to the increased blood glucose level as well as the abnormal glucose variability. Not only that, risk of hypoglycemia also increases because of some decrease in the oral intake or stress response. There is a risk of hypoglycemia is also increased, and that ultimately may translate into increase in the cardiovascular mortality risk. Not only that, the risk of diabetic ketoacidosis is also increases, especially in patients who are having type 1 diabetes or the insulin requiring type 2 diabetes, or those patients of type 2 diabetes who are on SGLT2 inhibitor. So especially in these patients, we have to monitor blood sugar very frequently so that we can pick up that diabetic ketoacidosis very early, which is a very devastating condition, requires prompt management. Now coming to the preventive measures for COVID-19 in diabetic patients, they are not different from the general suggestions, and the personal hygiene and the social distancing are the of utmost important. Personal hygiene in form of regular washing of hands and use of sanitizers is most important. Social distancing should be practiced, and one additional thing is the blood glucose control. So good sugar control will prevent the interaction of the COVID-19 diabetes, and the more serious infections can be prevented if the blood sugar control is very good. Now coming to the management of diabetes mellitus in COVID-19 patients. So first of all, there is general measures. So the adequate fluid intake should be ensured so that the dehydration should be avoided. So whether the disease is mild, moderate or severe, adequate fluid intake should be ensured. However, the caution should be required in patients who have either chronic kidney disease or the heart failure patients in which the fluid intake is restricted, and in this condition patient should contact their healthcare provider to get advice about the what should be the amount of the fluid intake in these patients. The second most important point is that the frequent self-monitoring of blood glucose is required, because as we have already discussed that patients are at risk of developing hyperglycemia as well as hypoglycemia, and therefore the frequent monitoring of blood sugar is required. Again, the urinary ketone should be checked if there is a persistent hyperglycemia, that is the as 2 blood sugar reading more than 250 milligram per deciliter. In those patients, urinary ketone should be checked, especially in those patients who are at high risk of developing diabetic ketoacidosis, like patients with type 1 diabetes or patients on SGLT2 inhibitor or the insulin requiring type 2 diabetes. In those patients, urinary ketone should be monitored if there is a persistent hyperglycemia. And again, hypoglycemia symptoms as well as management should be instructed to the patient, because patients are also at risk of developing hypoglycemia also. So if patient develops hypoglycemia, immediate measures to elevate the blood sugar level should be advised. Now, if we see, the COVID-19 patient can be divided widely into mild disease as well as the moderate to severe disease. So the patients who have only mild symptoms like only cough, fever, no respiratory difficulty, they can be managed at home. The general measures should be followed as discussed in the previous slides. They should be advised to be in touch with the healthcare provider digitally, whether you prefer telephonic consultation or the WhatsApp media, message media. It should be in touch with healthcare provider to manage. They can be managed with the ongoing medications whichever patients are using, but the dosage can be required to modify it, because sometimes the patient develops hyperglycemia. In that condition, we need to addition some dosage or may have to add some insulin, or patient may develop hypoglycemia. In that condition, we need to reduce the dosage to prevent further hypoglycemia. Again, those patients who have either moderate or the severe diseases, they require hospitalization, and the multidisciplinary approach is required to manage not only sugars but also the respiratory condition also. And these patients are preferably managed with the insulin regime, and all the kinds of oral anti-diabetic agents should be stopped in this patient. Depending on the severity of the illness, patient can be managed with either basal bolus insulin or the insulin infusion. So those patients who are taking orally well, they can be managed with basal bolus insulin. Those require ventilatory support or the pressure support, or the ICU condition, they require the insulin infusion, and institutional based protocol should be used for this insulin infusion or the basal bolus regime. Again, we need to emphasize that the sliding scale insulin should be avoided, because it is inferior in terms of hypoglycemia episode as well as the blood sugar control, and in long-term outcomes also, it is inferior to basal bolus therapy, and in sliding scale insulin should be avoided uh, as and when possible. Again, the management of diabetes mellitus in the non-COVID patient is also very difficult, because as the government has decided to lock down to prevent the outburst of COVID-19. And because of that, there are some difficulties with in terms of managing diabetes in non-COVID patients who are having no symptoms of COVID-19, or they are, who are negative for COVID-19. The first difficulty is the transportation of patients. Sometimes it is difficult that patient is transported from one place to another place. Again, the feasibility of laboratory services is very difficult in this scenario. And again, the availability of good quality medicine, especially insulin, is very difficult in this scenario of lockdown. And we have to manage some strategies to overcome these all difficulties so that best care can be provided to our non-COVID diabetic patients. So, what are the strategies we are using is, first of all, that is the triage of patients, which can be done. The patients who are requiring face-to-face consultation, those are the patients who are having some acute conditions, or like diabetic foot patients, they require face-to-face consultation for their diabetes management as well as the management of other elements. However, there are few patients which can be managed telephonically, like routine or the cold diabetic patients who doesn't require face-to-face consultation, that can be managed with teleconsultation. Very good guidelines has been suggested by Government of India, which can be followed for teleconsultation in this scenario. Again, we have to ensure the availability of medications, especially insulin. The Endocrine Society of India has developed the list of uh, uh, distributors which can provide patients insulin in their area, and patients should be aware about that, where they can get the proper quality and the good quality medications. Again, the laboratory services is also very important. Few of the laboratories are providing home facilities and taking care of the patients. Again, we need to emphasize on preventive measures. So those patients who are having diabetes but they are non-COVID, they need to emphasize that if you get COVID-19 infection, you are at high risk of developing serious infection, and so that you need to take care about the preventive measures as good as possible, and to avoid the COVID-19 infection in these patients. Lastly, in patients those require face-to-face consultation, again, our safety and the patient safety is of utmost important. So proper use of PPE and the distancing is required, especially for new consultation. We require to have face-to-face consultation. And again, there are few patients who require face-to-face consultation despite being old patient. In those patients, we need to take care of ourselves as well as the patient, so that COVID-19 transmission chain can be avoided. Lastly, the take-home message will be the COVID-19 and the diabetic represent the two devastating pandemics with very different characteristics. Diabetes with or without comorbidities increases the risk of worse outcomes. Preventive measures and the good diabetic control are the key for the prevention as well as the avoidance of COVID-19 in diabetic patients. And we need to develop strategies to overcome the difficulties in managing non-COVID diabetic patients in this era of COVID-19. So, thank you for your patient listening.